Okay, so it has been a tough month. I don't know about you guys, but talk about being put through the ringer. All right, I'm going to do one reading per zodiac for the original 13 zodiacs before they change them. We're going to start off with OPHIUCHUS. Nice. November 30th to December 17th. Blue topaz. Topaz, snake charmer, mix, sun, earth, fair degrees, and azurite, earth sign. Okay. Start off, spirit guides, guardian angels, archangels, ascended masters with good intention, ancestors, high self, highest me, mother, father, Geb, Newt, divine universe. Please allow the messages that need to come through for those that need to hear it, preferably higher vibrational frequencies. And let's begin, shall we? Alright, what can we get for OPHIUCHUS? Try one at a time, please. Ace of Clubs. If you are leading your pathway and you're not using your brain, you're just kind of on a mission, so to speak. That's how a lot of people put it, on a mission. Or you're leading yourself with your man bits or woman bits, then that's more of a less karmic kind of state of being. It's not really thinking with the other logical brain, your head. I highly suggest maybe thinking before you act, unless you want to get yourself into any emotional issues. What else can we get for that? Ace of Clubs. What is Ace of Clubs? OPHIUCHUS. Reduction. Maybe you're going in for like a breast reduction. You think that you're going to be less attractive. That's not the case. We got the Hermit. Going within. You've been through a lot of things so far. Maybe your comfort is to seek some sort of physical pleasures. I mean, it's all fine and dandy, but if that's what you're turning to as like a crutch, then it's not going to help you any. Clearly. The Hermit's about going within and acknowledging certain aspects of yourself that you never did before. Taking the time to sit down with yourself, get reacquainted with yourself, get in touch with your own inner child, find out what brings you joy. Not necessarily does sexual things need to be a part of that, but we are human beings as well. A lot of us do enjoy that finer side of life, as long as it's more of a mutual romantic side of it, not so much a lust kind of need to be, need to have. That whole idea of gratification and having those chemicals released in your brain just to get like a quick little high, and it not to last or not to actually resolve any of the issues that you have going on internally. No, 3 falling out all at once. You could be wanting to start a family. If that's the case, I mean, you're obviously in your element there. Or it could be something to do with family ties. You got the 10 of Coins. Maybe there's a lot of pressure being put on you right now. Page of Clubs. You're kind of standing on your own. You're not even on the lookout for anything. You kind of just have taken inventory of everything that you have right now. And you're not really seeking outside of yourself, which is good. That would be hermit mode as well. Going within, doing what you need to do for you. And then you've also got, which came out, which is interesting, you got the Hierophant in reverse. Now, a lot of us that have been through some serious shit in our life get put in certain positions to make judgment calls on other people. However, when it comes to your own insecurities and things that you maybe have not healed, there's a tendency to use the more karmic side to it and justify our own insecurities and the way people lash out as like a judgment, like the other people deserve it, when really it's just our own insecurities and we're projecting it onto the other person without any understanding. So that would be also Could have a lot to do with religion as well. If you're using religion in a negative aspect and you're actually using it against people. The Hierophant in reverse, I don't really think is the best to go with. Maybe explain that a little bit further. Decorated. Maybe you're an officer. Hopefully you're using them for the right reasons. Maybe you're having an ego death, or there's been a death, and it's kind of transformed everything, your viewpoints on things. Maybe you're no longer religious, or you no longer, you're kind of going within instead. Maybe one of your outlets is to be in a sexual or aggressive manner, but it looks more so like you're just doing the best you can with what you have. Any of the things that lay in the past, you're kind of just leaving them be. There's a death and a rebirth. That could be a death of a way of thinking as well. Let's see. What else we got here? It is... Oh, what time is it right now? It is 3:12 a.m. I'm deciding to do the readings right now. Why? I don't know. Irritate, anger, angry. Irritate persistently, badger. Hector, harass, harry, bait. Irritated in a snobbish way, haughty, irritating, annoying, irksome, vexatious, galling, irritating person, pest, nuisance, gadfly, cause irritation or bitterness, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so quite possibly you could have irritated somebody else, maybe with the judgments you've been making, or you're being irritated yourself by other people, so you're making judgment calls in a certain manner. Or maybe it's just come to the point where you need to possibly either ask family or step away from family. Because a lot of the times the 10 of coins, yeah, that can be your pentacles and everything, but not necessarily. It could just mean a large family. So maybe you're so used to getting information from family or taking their word for it, and they've led you maybe astray, or maybe you have ignored their words, and because of that, or because you went against something religious or a certain way of traditions and stuff like that, you've kind of pissed a lot of people off. That's fine. You're allowed to be the curse breaker. Don't be upset about it. Glassware, decorated. Where are we at? Glass. Every time I see glass, I think G-lass, like a lassie. Anyways, goblet, tankard, or like the filled to the brim bumper. Something to do with a car, maybe. Glass cover for a watch face. Maybe something to do with your watches. Glass for drinking, especially having round bottom inside a tumbler. Maybe you're going to the gym more, you need to drink more water. Heated lamp, ready for molding, blowing. Maybe you're doing glass blowing. That's really fun to do. I highly encourage that. If you're somebody that wants to get into the arts or something, you want to try something different. I personally have never done it myself, but I've seen it done, and I really admire people that do glass blowing, so that's pretty cool. Plastic, block, triangular, and cross-section, as in cameras. Glass tube, open at both ends, into which liquid is sucked to be measured, transferred to, like a pipette. Maybe you're into the sciences. Maybe you're teaching your children about science. You know how you put the vinegar on the baking soda? Anyways, what else can we get here? Something to do with the family. What do we got with the family? 10 of coins. Dirty. Ooh. Run down, house or hut, hovel, dirty soil or spoil. Maybe something's being spoiled for you, or maybe you're spoiling something for your family. As through adding impurities, contaminate, pollute, adulterate, dirty, spattered, or smudged. Maybe somebody's trying to smear your name, like a smear campaign, or if you're doing that to somebody else, believe me, it will come back on you. Please just focus on yourself and try to do what's best for you. Don't go out of yourself to try to seek anything from anybody else or cause problems for other people just because you're spiteful or they pissed you off or something like that. Take the higher road. Yeah, dirty, taint, stained, or corrupt. If you're part of the mafia or anything like that, get out while you can. Anyways, extremely soiled, neglect. Maybe you've been neglecting family, or maybe they've neglected you. If it has to do with your root, anything below solar plexus, sacral, root chakra, knee-jerk or similar response performed involuntarily rather than conscious choice. Maybe you've been groomed well. Maybe you've been brainwashed for a long time. You're finally starting to wake up and you need to get out of it. Reflex, automatic, bounce, a child affectionately up and down, especially on one's knee, a dandle. I don't know if anybody's bounced you on their knee. I don't have any opinions on that. It could sway both ways. It could be a negative thing or a positive, but honestly, I don't want to get too into that. That could be something for somebody specifically. Housemaid's knee. What's this? Baritis. Joint corresponding to the knee and the hind leg of a horse or other four-legged mammal. Maybe you're into riding horses, or maybe you've got a messed up knee joint. You got to take a look into that. One thing I suffered from in the past, and then when I started to take care of myself, it's gone away now. It's like patellofemoral syndrome. A lot of yoga helped me for that. Poker. Hand containing 5 consecutive cards, but not all of the same suit straight. Poker hand containing 3 cards, all with the same value, and 2 cards both with the same value, full house. Maybe you're a gambler. Like I said, if you're part of the mafia or any kind of big family ties, or maybe it's just a whole religious thing in itself. There's a lot of cults and a lot of religions base things off of family ties, and they get right in there. You could be a lookout. Don't throw caution to the wind just because you're helping your family out. If you are putting your neck on the line, be very cautious with that. Okay? Be very cautious with that. It's time to go within, maybe make some choices for yourself. Anyways, so let's do a past life for that. OPHIUCHUS. OPHIUCHUS. Past life card. 1. Now, OPHIUCHUS is known as the snake charmer, snake wrangler. It can also be symbolic for Eve or femininity, but, excuse me, it's also referred to as like the hunter. So you can take that however it resonates. Anything that I say in my readings, if it doesn't apply to you, then it's meant for somebody else, okay? If you wish to have a reading with me, you're more than welcome to do so. Just hit me up on any of the links provided. Lessons and blessings. Okay, so maybe finally it's come down to you now. You are the generation that gets to decide whether you want to break the curses, learn the lessons, end the cycles, and start new fresh ones for yourself, or if you want to continue old traditions, old habits, old patterns, and things just because it runs in the family. It's a bloodline thing. Blessings. You could be having 10 of coins. You could be having pentacles being sent in towards you to help you. You really could be given some sort of maybe an inheritance. I know a lot of the readers nowadays, including myself, has spoken about inheritance, and no, it doesn't have to mean monetary value. It could mean many other things like gifts. But again, going within and doing your healing is important. I can't stress that enough. It's important. Maybe one more for past life for our OPHIUCHUS. How did I get so close? I want to see the pores in my skin. What else we got for OPHIUCHUS? Phobias. A lot of the insecurities we have can turn into phobias. A lot of the trauma that we've experienced that is not even addressed can turn into phobias. A lot of things we carry from childhood into adulthood, especially based off of any trauma experience we've had, can turn into phobias. It's very easy just to dismiss them and call them as such, but to actually go within and take a look at certain things to make sure you find out where the phobias are coming from, whether they're just imposed on you and you learn from them, so you're taking on somebody else's, like, oh, my dad was afraid of this, so I'm afraid of it, or my mom was afraid of this, so I'm afraid of it. That's taking on somebody else's phobias. It's like something that's learned. You can face your fears. Obviously, I'm not telling you to stick your hand in I was going to say giraffe's mouth. That's weird. Giraffes have blue tongues. It's not like I'm asking you to stick your hand in a lion's mouth or whatever, like with no logic there, acting out of stupidity. What I'm saying basically is you got to be able to face your fears. You got to be able to face them head on. So I'm afraid of this, so I'm going to do it. Tonight, I was procrastinating, worried that I was going to wake up the entire house if I gave a reading, and so far it's fairly decent and quiet, and I'm just doing the reading. So that was ridiculous for a phobia, to be afraid to do something. Worrying about other people doesn't always help. Making sure you put yourself first does. Let's see what else we got. Island wellness. Wellness is a state of being. Any kind of ness is a state of being. What else we got? I like you. Someone likes you. Romance is blooming. Fun, flirting, want to date. I think if you got stuff going on with your family right now, or any phobias, definitely figure that out first. Do some work, or else you're going to bring it into any new relationship, unless the person that you're dealing with is very understanding and have already gone through their own trials and tribulations, their dark night and stuff like that. If they are on a different vibrational frequency and they're at a separate level, then it'll be easier to communicate with them and be like, listen, I still got to work through some stuff. I really like you, and I'd like to go on a date and stuff like that, but I'm not expecting to go too fast because I still have to work on some phobias. I have to learn some lessons and maybe deal with some family things. And if the other person's understanding and mature, especially emotionally, then their response should be an understanding kind of tone response. And that's really nice. If something's blooming for you, you've been waiting for it for a long, long time. Because you've been taking on so many people's other burdens. Take your time with it. Okay, what else we got? Axe. Oh, automatically I thought of the battle axe throwing. Breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, and abandonment. So we got two completely different ones. So maybe you're leaving somebody for another, or another person's leaving someone for you. Maybe you just went through a separation, but somebody really likes you, or you like a person. Again, with the whole thing of breaking patterns. Stop the pattern. If somebody's giving you the silent treatment, do not take it personally. Maybe they got to work through their own things. If you're giving somebody else a silent treatment, just remember, if you do that to somebody else, you're bound to get it back in return. At what time, I don't know. Abandonment issues. Again, that could be abandonment of religion, abandonment of family, abandonment of self. Do not abandon yourself. That could be based off of a phobia. There is nothing to fear. Obviously, as long as you're not being chased by an animal or being attacked or something, there is nothing literally to fear. You are safe, and I would say the more scary thing would be your own brain, because the damage that that can do. And yes, I understand there's a lot of things that have been placed on us, some of which we've experienced as younger, that we have to unlearn. So we're not in a state of fear. But all in all, once you reach past 30, you're responsible for starting to manage. And there's a lot of tutorials, a lot of guidance, a lot of counselors, therapists and stuff. And people are being less taboo about getting help to balance themselves so they're mentally stable, so they're emotionally mature and healthy. I highly recommend it. And you don't have to pump yourself full of drugs right off the bat. That's not necessarily going to solve the problem. And the only person that has the answers, the clarity and closure, is yourself. You take one thing at a time. Let's say you have multiple traumas growing up at different ages. Take it on one at a time. Go through one event. Do not cling to the emotion of it or victim mentality. Learn the lesson, move forward. It's quite a lot all in one. Yeah. Grim Reaper. The relationship's over. No second chances. Grow and transform your life. Okay. So you've got 2 so far. You've got the Grim Reaper. I don't know if you can see it. Grim Reaper, and you got the Axe. Okay. A lot of transformation. Again, you got the Hermit. Going within is very important. I'd like maybe a clarity card for that. Because you got I like you on the side. So that could be a positive. You could be finding more love within yourself too. Pamper yourself. Take yourself out. Fucking buy yourself a new pair of shoes or a new pair of pants. I personally haven't gone shopping in I don't know how long. Navigate. So you're trying to navigate the waters, the emotions, everything you're going through. To conduct or guide a ship, to sail, to manage sailing as a vessel. You yourself are a vessel. To sail or guide a ship over. Now over what? Maybe over the relationship. Craven. A coward. A weak-hearted, spiritless fellow. A cowardly person. Maybe it's you or somebody else that you've experienced that has a cowardice nature, and that a lot comes with phobias, fear. That's all it is. It's not that they're less of a human being. It's not that you're less of a human being if you're scared of things. It means that they have yet to face their own inner demons and their own phobias. Sometimes the phobias of others that have been placed on us too. So that's a whole thing in itself. Provident. Foreseeing and providing for wants, prudent or frugal. Maybe you're pinching pennies. Maybe you're worried about that. I wouldn't. The more you feel in lack of something, the more you're calling it in towards you. If you never feel like you have enough, you're never satisfied, then that's what's going to be given to you. More situations to prove that you can be satisfied. But that's only if you're grateful with what you have. Settle. A bench with a high back and arms. Maybe you feel like you're being benched in a game, or you're just being benched in life. To place in more or less permanent situation. To establish, to quit, to determine, to reconcile. Maybe you want to reconcile with somebody you've split up with. Just remember that sometimes things happen for a reason, so you can learn the lessons. To determine. To establish. Maybe something's not set in stone just yet. But for the most part, when we settle, it's basically saying this is good enough for me and I don't need to seek any more than this. To quit, maybe you're quitting a job or quitting a habit, which is really good, especially if you're going within. To adjust, to colonize. So if you're readjusting, realigning yourself is very important. To colonize, maybe you're establishing something else outside of you. To become fixed. To fix one's abode, to subside, to become calm, adjust differences or accounts. So again, if it comes to the pinching pennies thing, maybe you're fixing something within a bank. Covenant. Ooh. A contract, compact, a writing containing terms or agreement. To enter into a formal agreement. To stipulate. To grant by covenant. If you're part of something bigger than yourself and you want out, figure out how to do that. I can't tell you. It's not easy, but like I said, if you're basing everything on phobias, then that is going to be what they call a handle. Your phobias, your unhealed traumas, and your vices or any kind of like bad habit are all handles that can be used against you. The more you heal, the less people can do shit to you, and you build the solid foundation of you yourself standing in your own power, knowing what's best for you. Let's do 4. 1. Pool. 2. Maybe your carpool. Deadly poison. Be careful of the food that you're accepting from other people. It doesn't have to be literal poison. It could be words spoken over it. Also, don't worry too much into that if it's just a phobia. Okay, what do we got here for OPHIUCHUS? Huh. Okay, we got Anzus, Azir, God, prosperity, vitality, signals, Odin, leader, justice, communication, insight, truth, wisdom, mouth, and guilt. That would be for the letter A, and blue, which is throat chakra. Then we got Iwas, or you, strength, stability, denial, defense, tree of life, I, trustworthiness, protection, motivation, reliability, enlightenment, transformation, turning point, which could be a Y or an I, and I've got pink and green. That would be for crown and or love. What else we got? Gibo, my favorite one. Looks like an X. Gibo is gift, generosity, trust, partnership, love, marriage, relationship, exchange, test. G, orange for sacral, red for roots, and we got green for love. And then we've got, ooh, this would be a blank one. There's nothing on it. So that's the unknown. When you do runes, these are carved into cedar because it's much easier than stone. But there's always one that has a blank one, which is for the unknown. Kind of like the moon card. You know, it's yet to be seen. So definitely go within, figure out your shit, what you need to do. If you have gifts or gifts are being given to you, be cautious of anything that is food. Possessions. Whatever justice you're seeking, you shall get it. Just focus on yourself, communication, truth, insight. Denial. If you're in denial, it's not going to help your transformation or get you to the turning point that you need to get to. Again, that would be a phobia. It's kind of like a mask for a phobia. Denial is a huge mask for phobias. It's like I'm afraid of this, but I'm not going to say I'm afraid of it, so I'm just going to be in denial about it. I personally have some phobias of myself, and I had to, and I say of myself because literally I'm the only one that I should be worried about. And I had to get over a lot of them in order to push forward, even to make it to the point where I'm at now. And I think the only one I got left is actual succession, being successful and then having a lot more attention put on me. Yeah, I dance and sing and it seems like I'm the active fool, but those are ways of transmuting negative energy. And I really find them helpful for stress relief. And I don't give a fuck who thinks what about me. If I look like a jester or a fool. I mean, it really helps me. Whatever information you're seeking, you should get it soon. Careful who's giving it to you. If they have horns, don't accept the word that's given to you. Looks like a little sunflower in the middle there. What else we got? Stitches. And we got something that looks like, you know when a cicada opens its wings band? Is it cicada? I don't know if you could see that there. Oh, probably not. Maybe? Anyways, up here, it almost looks like a beetle with its wings open, and then on the top of it, it's got like a little 4-pointed star. And there's some candles. Maybe you go to an altar, or you have an altar. Careful of the candles. Oh, it's old flooring. Whatever that is. Old flooring. Maybe you need new flooring. Ooh. 8 of Swords in reverse. No longer bound. No longer bound to what? Native American totem. Totem. You're not bound to the... Oh, it's no burning at the stake. Happy New Year. Life, living. Lie in wait for, take by surprise. Life enhancing, original, creative, Promethean, Dysonian. Huh. Life expectancy chart used by insurance company, mortality table. They have a mortality table for life insurance expectancies? What? Life insurance company. If somebody took a policy out on you and you're not aware of it, F that person for one. They're messed up in the head. Because money ain't everything. If they decided tomorrow money meant nothing, what the hell are they going to do? Stupid. Life form of basic single cell type. Typically microscopic. Such an amoeba or a protozoan. Life history, story of a person. Maybe you're leaving a legacy or you're building one. Written by another person, a biography. Maybe you're writing a biography and you got a life story to tell. Do so. Life instinct, self-preserving instincts, and life-enhancing. Sometimes the self-preserving ones are really detrimental because we do things out of fear. Again, with the fucking phobias. What specifically? What phobias are we looking at specifically? Maybe you tell them. Oh, that came right out. Ooh, 5 of Swords. Chaos, conflict, fighting. But this guy's stepping on 3 swords, holding one, and he's got the other one upright. The other guy's holding his crotch, and one of them is kneeling and crying while the buildings in the back are on fire. Anyways, I don't know if that's helpful. It's Icelandic. Continued. School, elementary, textbook, primary, school for very young children, kindergarten, school of music, conservatory, a pupil who is of top of class, school pupil who stays away from school without permission, a truant, school which juvenile offenders are sent to, like a reformatory, school training, corps and military techniques and discipline. Okay, maybe you want to go back to school. I highly recommend it. Learning's always fun. Maybe you are one of those kids that never stayed in class. You got to go back and get your GED. So what? I think it's like a St. Louis here in Canada. School for learning. Maybe you were in the military and you've learned techniques and discipline for yourself. That's why you're going into hermit mode. Or maybe you're just getting into that now. Whatever is the case, you will get through it. Let's see. You will get through this.